On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, we've got Pennywhistle's Ball Blaster.
And Seabiscuit the Impaler.
Let's do this.
Right friggin' now. On this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast, we're talking about Season 7, Episode 14, Plucky Pennywhistle's Magic Menagerie. Hi, I'm Diana.
I'm Liz. That was, your speed does not need to be adjusted. That was just very efficient.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. What have you been up to?
Oh, so it's, say it's spooky season, but, every day is spooky season for me. It's last night, yesterday, I have no idea what day of the week it is. Yesterday, I got to go out to Austin and go see Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, who are touring to make up for money they did not get during the writer's strike, which makes sense, but also good on them. They ended up doing 5 shows, just they kept selling out. But nice. It was at Bass Concert Hall, which is at, on UT campus. So it's been a while since I was there, but that was really fun. Except one of the things, so we're driving up there and we're going up 35. And then my friend goes, oh, they're closing the Glass Coffin. And so they're closing the Glass Coffin, which is the Vampire Goth store in Austin. That and Starseeds and a bunch of other things are getting torn down for eminent domain. So thank you, fucking TechStot, for making me lose my favorite vampire store.
That's awful.
Yeah. So based on what I read on their Instagram, so because Joey, the vampire store was leasing from, so the landlord is getting a chunk of change for that, but they don't get shit. They just get 90 days to move out during probably their busiest, hello, this is their Christmas, right?
Right.
So they're gonna lose a bunch of money, and it's just a bummer. So hopefully, hope those guys wish them luck and that they find a new place, because I need, you just need a place to go buy vampire shit sometimes. You do,
True.
Yeah, they also have done that's where they've hosted a lot of events for kind of the paranormal community. So I've seen things there.
Hopefully they'll find a new location or not. Or
yeah, I'm also just Starseeds, man. I've been going to that cafe since I was 18, and it was that was one of the few places, but it was one of the Austin vegan punk rock places. You could and they had everything. It wasn't just vegan, but you could take your vegan friends there, you could take your veg friends there. All of you could go, and you could go get breakfast, and it was open late. So after a show, you go there and go get breakfast. It was.
I've never heard of it. I don't know that one.
Yeah, it was just this place off 35. We used to go there after shows all the time. So bummer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hate time. Timeline is stupid, and it's still not going to fix the fucking problem. You're not going to fix 35. Just give up. You cannot fix that. It's just broken. You need to just get some spaceships that just jump over that shit or something. Until we get spaceships, you can't fix 35 there.
No, it's pretty bad.
Yep. So what about you?
What have I been up to? I went and saw my friend play a show. So I saw Nathan Mongol Wells play, and that was fun. And then I went and started making a disco ball wreath. And it's not done because I didn't realize how many disco balls I would need, mini ones, obviously. And then I went and saw John Waters speak after eating Tex Ethiopian barbecue. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Tex Ethiopian barbecue is very good. I'm jealous.
It is so good.
I'm jealous of a lot of those things. And I want your cookies. And
then I made Halloween cookies with my niece, and they're super cute. But it was a cookie kit where you decorate your own. I've never used that royal icing. That was my first time playing with royal icing. I kind of enjoyed it, and I'm oh, I want to do more with this, but it's also kind of stressful.
It's just sugar and basically sugar and water. It's really easy.
Well, no, just getting it to set right and all that. It's kind of stressful. Playing with getting artsy with it. I tried to get all where you swirl it and shit.
Yeah, but now I just want to lick icing.
I always want to lick icing. but I had to choose because I was drinking wine, so I can only have a little bit of the icing.
You and your blood sugar problems.
I know it's lame, but probably good for me to have some limitations.
Hey,
Otherwise, we'd have a
yeah,
problem.
at least you have that self control. Because I would probably just be like, whatever, I'm gonna have a headache.
Girl, I did last night. Are you kidding? I ate a cookie. I ate one of those cookies. Oh, and then okay, so the I think Mother's brand. Damn
Oh,
it!
the
It's
circus
the
animals.
circus that have icing on them.
Yeah, I have some coming. I think those actually need to be outside right now.
Have you seen? Are they the spooky ones?
Yes, because
I was very excited about
I
them.
resisted buying them in the store, and then they were on sale during Prime Day, and I was like, okay, I need.
Yeah, Mother's frosted cookies, the limited batch eerie critters, and it named on the bat. It's like cute kitty, spooky kitty, bat, like
Yep, yep,
like
yep.
they all have names. It's hilarious, and they're delicious because those iced circus cookies
They're
are delicious.
so addictive.
They
I'm
are.
just
They're
gonna like
dangerous.
sit there and eat that entire bag, and then I'll be like, why can't I lose any weight?
Well, but yeah,
Anyhow, so that's cool. Yeah, so this episode I think is kind of timely for that. In just general SV and family news, there was a fun thing that was dropped on Twitter from the Gen V channel, which is the boys spinoff. And it was, the post said, so it was from their actual account, and it said, "This Friday, hide your grandmas." And then it's Jensen as Soldier Boy, and then he goes, "Surprise, motherfuckers." And I meant to, like, I've got it recorded, and I meant to, have that set up as our soundbite, but I didn't get around to it. So we'll have to just, play it in some other times, because I don't think if I have to do it here, if you're going to hear it. Let's see. Could you hear that? Damn it! That's really weird because it was
sorry.
like, "Hi there." I will insert that file there so everyone can hear it. But anyways, yeah, it's Jensen just going, "Surprise, motherfuckers!" And so he's gonna be the 5th and 6th episodes of Gen V. Still not sure like what they're doing. That's about basically the young people who like want to become heroes in that show. So we don't know. There's talk of like maybe like there's going to be a Soldier Boy spinoff or something, but since him and his wife have that deal with their production company has a deal with Amazon, I'm not surprised.
Right.
Yep.
Interesting.
But also, it's just ridiculous how hot he is. Just like he's all sassy.
I need to catch back up on that show. I'm behind on the boys.
Yeah, I don't recommend watching the first episode of the last season on the plane.
Noted.
Just saying.
Oh, you told me about that. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I think I'm going to watch Gen B on it. I've got some very long flights, and I'm taking the Greyhound of the Sky. My favorite. So this episode, hello, did you? Were you? Was it a good episode for you?
I found it entertaining.
Oh, you weren't as excited as I was. Okay.
No, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Okay.
I thought it was super fun. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay, so
it was just not what I expected. Like going in, you're like, what the fuck? And it was way more entertaining. Kind of dark, but very more entertaining.
Okay, so I'm glad you didn't know like what you were getting into. So this was
no idea.
Yeah, so this was season 7, episode 14. It first aired February 10th, 2012. It was directed by Mike Roll. We last saw him direct The Mentalists, and was written by the team, Andrew Dabb and Daniel Laughlin. And yeah, it's just, really have a lot in the background on this one. It was just a very fun episode. So I was very excited. And I think it's timely and seasonal for right now since we're in spooky season. I feel like it's a good episode to watch now.
I agree. It was that's why I thought of that while I was watching. I'm like, oh, this is appropriate. I wonder if this aired during spooky season.
It did not. It aired right before Valentine's Day. So it was a love episode.
Sure. So we open with Sam being chased through a parking lot / it looks kind of like an industrial area, and hiding behind a car because he's freaking out and being chased by clowns.
He looks terrified. And
like super scared.
super scared. And as he's going, just kind of muttering to himself, "If it bleeds, you can kill it."
Yes. And he busts into like a empty, like a, I'm not empty, like abandoned, like I don't know, closed garage. I don't fucking know. And like tries to barricade the door, but a clown with really bad teeth gets in anyways. And then there's another clown. And then we get our intro graphic with a burst of colorful confetti.
It's a glitter bomb. Just a glitter bomb. And then we get a very weird countdown clock. I don't understand this clock.
60 hours. Why?
Yeah.
It's a dumb amount of time.
I don't understand why they chose to do it this way.
No. So we got the countdown, and we've got Sam and Dean in a parking lot, daytime now, and Dean answers a ringing payphone, and he has to use a secret code to identify himself, and he is super not stoked on using a payphone.
No, as nobody was or is. I don't think you can be, as everyone would say, like, you was a payphone. So, but he does also have to give a code word, which is "I am the Eggman."
Yeah. And we get only hear his side of the conversation, but we get a Fred Savage reference, and he clearly wants more Dick Roman info.
Well, no, not only a reference. Fred Savage has now been taken over by a Leviathan.
Right. So Fred Savage is a Leviathan too. Yeah. And then so he gets off the phone, and Sam immediately goes, "So we got Dick on Dick?" And Tina's
that's where
less amused.
That's just where we start rolling, right? Yeah. But Sam has found a case in Wichita, Kansas.
With peculiar death. And Dean sets down ground rules, though. No babies, no baby mamas, no bars, no booze, and no chicks of any kind. And Sam is very shocked by this, but Dean says, "You spawn a monster baby and see how fast you want to get into the pool."
Yeah, I also think like he'll last like 10 minutes. So yeah. We cut from this to a dead guy.
Dead guy, covered in circular welts, hickeys, wounds, and apparently it was caused by a 30-foot giant octopus.
That is a very large octopus, and it sounds adorable because not only was he a giant octopus, which we all know are freaking cute, and I started really feeling guilty about eating octopus, even though it's so delicious. Like last week, I was like, "Oh, here is this tasty octopus," and I was like, "Yeah, you're so smart, though."
That's what ekes me out.
And then, like, but you weren't smart enough for me to not be eating you. So, but this man, though, because he wasn't just like suckered to death, which is what I call it. He also bled out because
he had a big bite in his neck
by a vampire.
Sure. And the coroner is identifying it as a more likely, since they're in the middle of fucking Wichita, where there's not a 30-foot a giant Pacific octopus. He calls it a freak fetish attack. When he thinks that the marks were faked and then he was bled out.
No, it was an octavamp. It was a vamptopus. That's what did
it. So Sam and Dean go meet with the widow, and they're asking their normal, like, spooky guy questions. Like, does anything feel different? Was it cold or sulfury?
Can they grow little bat wings?
Octobat?
Well, he'd be, as an octobat, like, so octovamp, whatever, like, you can go bat, and then like he'll just have little bat wings, and he's got a top hat.
Well,
obviously he has a top hat.
That goes without saying.
Yes, clearly, maybe a monocle.
But so how does the monocle stay on, though?
How does the monocle stay on anything? How does a monocle stay on? That's actually
I think you're supposed to like stick it and like hold it with your like face muscles.
Well, I'm sure an octopus could like just Anyways, okay, so
the widow thinks they're wonky for asking why the house is different, and they ask if anyone would do him harm, and she's like, no, about all this, but she's like, but by the way, we should also ask the nanny if anything weird was going on. Oh, because of course there's a nanny,
and she's bitter.
This woman is not very nice.
Like, you need to talk to Stacy. So apparently their marriage was not great. And she doesn't sound that upset. Because I'm like, how do you go from like being this upset that your husband's dead to like go talk to Stacy?
Right. Well, and then as they're leaving, we see the young girl, who's the daughter, watching Sam and Dean leave. Dean is dead set, love triangle, and he's going to go see the nanny. And Sam's like, is that a good idea? But Dean's like, too bad, I'm going
Well,
anyways.
because Sam's like, I thought you said you weren't going to be around hot girls. And he's like, well, how do you know she's hot? And I'm like, well, clearly she was just talking about it. So, also, a little girl at the top of the stairs is fucking creepy. Just don't do that. Like, why are you going to have her just like not talk? Like,
Well, her mom didn't want her to be a part of the interrogation, so she was just sitting there.
sure. I don't know. She's creepy.
Spying on her parents. So Dean's asking at Stacy's, and he's asking about her relationship with him. She's like, no, it was normal. There was nothing going on. I was there late because he was working late. But oh yeah, yesterday was his daughter's birthday, and she had a birthday party at Plucky's, and he showed up for like a few minutes and left.
And her mom was out of town. The
Oh yeah.
fuck? No wonder that child looked creepy. That child's gonna murder somebody or end up on a pole. Like, things are not gonna work out well for Kelly. Like, it's just, she's not gonna have a good life. And thing is, like, she's just not get a therapist right now. Maybe Stacy can be like a good role model for her. I don't know, but things are not gonna go good for Kelly.
Well, and then it didn't help that some jerk kid told her that her parents didn't love her.
I mean, is that child wrong?
But that's not a very nice thing to say to a kid. Like,
No, that other child was a dick. No, and she should have probably punched that kid in the nose. Is what should have happened. But
yes. So, and then she's like, and there's nothing really weird at the house, but Kelly has to think about closets because that's where her monster is. Oh. So Kelly has a monster in her closet.
yeah, that's
Noted.
that's healthy. Mm-hmm.
And so Dean leaves and calls Sam and tells him he needs to talk to Kelly without tripping the Amber Alert.
Because there's going to be a lot of this, just like single young men talking to children alone.
Young children.
And this doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. So Sam like awkwardly approaches little Kelly while she's drawing on the sidewalk with chalk. And she's like, yeah, my mom's gonna get mad if I talk to you because of what I told the police. She's like, tried to warn dad that the monster was gonna get him, but anyways, and then her mom calls her in. And Sam notices that she's been drawing a giant monster octopus on the sidewalk with fangs.
Maybe I'll go with that for Halloween. An Octavamp.
Octavamp.
Yep.
So we cut to another nighttime scene of a guy running through the woods at night being chased by a horse? Maybe? But he jumps a fence, and no, this is not a horse. This is a fucking unicorn. It impales him from the back with its horn through the fence.
And its horn that sparkles, and then as it runs, it shoots glittery rainbows out of its butt.
It does. It does. So
I remember when this came out, like, and I watched it for the first time on TV, and I lost my shit. I remember
amazing.
just dying and just being like, "Oh my god, what's a unicorn?" And then,
yeah, no, I was pretty excited. So we get a flash to the quote unquote now, which is where Sam is in this garage fighting clowns.
Just say cut to now, ... sigh.
So Sam tries to shoot the clowns after he reminds himself if it bleeds, you can kill it. And he shoots him twice, and you don't get any blood. It doesn't hurt him. You just get a spray of glitter.
Whoosh, just poofs glitter.
Poof, glitter.
And these clowns just kick his ass.
And they're laughing the whole time.
They are very disturbing. But now, for no fucking reason, we're going to go back 36 hours.
36 hours and 36 minutes. Dean is
Why?
at the unicorn. I don't know. But Dean is at the unicorn crime scene. And I feel like unicorn crime scene needs to be like either a band or an album name. I was very excited about unicorn crime scene.
This just sounds like it sounds like a hipster band, though.
Yeah, that's true. And he's like peeking through. They do a really cool shot, I thought, where he's like looking through the hole in the fence. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And they're talking to the police. They're like, yeah, we know it's a horse, but we don't know what ran him through. Maybe it was like a lance. I don't know. They can't figure it out because obviously no one's first thought is fucking unicorn.
It should be.
So Dean, awkwardly, rudely interrupts the widow who's trying to go inform her son that dad's dead to ask if yesterday was her son's birthday. And she's like, no, but yesterday his father took him to a friend's birthday party at Plucky's.
We have something in common with our victims.
We do. So Dean calls Sam and asks to ask him a question about Pluckies. But the more important part of this scene, much more important part of this scene,
Yeah,
is the motel.
exactly. Shut the fuck up, this room. It's
It
amazing.
is. It is kind of a bizarre, hellish tiki room. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's kind of fucking weird and like a little bit like I don't know how to describe. Like I got a little bit of like what was that Nickelodeon show where they like battled on like a pyramid? It was like a whole like jungle theme one. Anyways, I got a little bit of like a weird like set like a set vibe, but it was still fucking rad. The Tiki Motel is fucking rad. There's like lights in the walls. It's just so cool.
So
I
good.
want to stay
It's
there.
so good. I do definitely want to stay there.
So, anyways, so basically,
Dean asks Sam if he remembers Pluckies, and Sam just gets weird.
and apparently Dean would just dump him there. Well, he went to go hit on chicks and he fucking hated it, and that's pretty much
Yeah, no,
he
of course
it's
he
tied to the
did.
reason why it's tied to the reason why he now hates clowns.
Yeah, all of this sounds like a horrible thing to do to children.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like Dean's statistic that he shares that 99.99% of clowns can't hurt you.
I mean, I think it's I don't know if that statistic is accurate. I feel like he may be airing a little too much. I'm pretty sure it's probably more like 36% of clowns want to hurt you.
That low?
But
So, anyways, Dean's going to go talk to this kid while Sam goes to Plucky's and he's making him go. So Sam goes in and you can tell he is freaked out.
I
But
am
also, I
freaked
kind of would
out.
be too. This place is kind of trash.
It is disturbing.
So, like,
It's not trash. It's disturbing.
yes and no. Like, I don't know. So don't get me wrong. Like, I remember very much liking Chuck E. Cheese as a kid. I also remember now that Chuck E. Cheese was kind of disturbing. But this is like a weird, like, primary color Chuck E. Cheese, and Chuck E. Cheese was not. It had like a cool, like, dark arcade vibe with its crazy animatronics. This place is kind of like terrifying because it's got like super primary colors and a little like dash of Krusty the Clown vibe going. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And the animatronic clown that they have at the entry is horror material. That is nightmare fuel. That thing was awful.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just clowns everywhere and a guy in a lion suit for some reason.
Yeah, for some, what's the Menagerie? So I guess they'd have something. I don't know. That's what's weird too. I'm like, this is not thematic. This does not make their brand does not make sense. But I decided that was not the argument anybody wanted to hear from me about this. So Sam's getting freaked, but he sees a female employee who's a mother telling her kid that he has to hang out there for 3 more hours, and he is bummed. And
I try very hard not to judge this mom through this, because I get it. Like, childcare is expensive. Like, we live in a world. Like, I understand. I'm trying to make some. She's kind of a bitch, though.
it's a shitty situation.
It's a shitty situation, but she's kind of a bitch.
Well, she's also kind of oblivious. That's some of the stuff that bothers me later, but we'll get there.
Yeah. But this kid just is not happy about being here.
Bummed. Super bummed. Well, Sam notices a wall of kids' drawings because, like a place like this, a lot of kids draw and like they'll hang them up. Like, oh, that's cute. Only this is fucking terrifying. Like, who traumatizes children this way by asking them to draw their deepest fears?
It seems like a not great idea.
What?
Yeah.
What? I mean, you get the regulars like monsters and sharks and witches, but like, interestingly, there's a couple nameplates up there. Oh, the 2 kids whose parents fucking died, their pictures are missing. That's strange.
Yeah, and Jean, the manager, says, like, they don't really put up the scary things.
Which is hilarious.
Which is hilarious, because I'm betting there's like, oh shit, this guy, this is getting dark.
Oh, this kid's got real problems like those.
Yeah.
And she said that like, oh, she's like, yeah, some pop psychologists that and suggested this, and the owner's obsessed with, aiding in kids' development, and she uses some good air quotes. So it's like the whole concept is they draw their worst fears, and then Plucky makes them go away because they faced it down or some dumb shit. And then they don't carry that fear into adulthood or something.
I mean, you know what? it is very good for children to work through trauma instead of carrying it through and then trying to deal with it as you're an adult and things are coming out and you're, in clown makeup and you're 46. But, like maybe not doing this at Pluggies.
Yeah, it's a choice. So Sam asks her about Jean, the manager, about Billy, and that's the young man whose father was impaled by the unicorn. And she refers to him as the conniption kid. And he's like, wait, what? And she's like, oh, no, not the kid, the dad. Basically, dad was forcing Billy to leave before the party was over, before cake or presents or anything. And he asked to stay. And his dad went full frontal douchebag and screaming.
That's just so, fuck that dude.
How
Yeah.
rude.
Yeah, I'm glad the unicorn stabbed you. So,
And then, okay, go ahead.
no,
And then we get, so that's kind of like a break while Sam's pondering that. Saul, our janitor, calls Sam over, like whispers for him to come over,
hey,
asks what he's investigating.
And he's not good at it though. He's like trying to be like,
No,
hey,
not
come over
sly.
here, but it's like, hey. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, come back after closing. There's too many years.
There's too many eyes to tell.
Yeah.
So we go back to the best motel ever. And they're eating the Chinese food like in the best way with like it has little chopsticks attached to it. And I was like, I can't. I need to stop ordering food. Like, oh, maybe I'll get Chinese food in New York.
Yeah. Yep. So they get Chinese takeout in their tiki room, and it's adorable. And Sam comes in, and Dean asks him what the lowdown is on Trauma Town. Oof. And so Sam's just like, look, neither of them are for Parent of the Year, but it is what, I don't know what's happening here yet. And so Dean's like, what are these? Like, their kids dream these things up and it goes after, or draws these things and actually goes after the victim. And Sam's like, yeah, the two drawings are missing though, so we can't really like verify that yet.
So he's just taken and this is like a continuity thing, like he has taken the drawings, but like they're still there.
Yeah, it's very weird. It doesn't make sense. He's got
maybe he just like took specific ones.
Maybe. But this is where Dean really starts with all the fun renaming of all these monsters, and it's super amusing. Like Little Miss Octovamp and and Unicorn Stabby. Like, it's just like all these fun things. And so Sam asks him, so now unicorns are evil? He just says, yeah, obviously. Aw, unicorns aren't evil.
Who said evil was bad? Anyway, so we go from that to Pluckies.
Mm-hmm. Jean's counting down the register, and poor Saul just wants to check out and like clock out for the night. But no, he's got to do a full sanitization of the ball pit because a kid puked in it.
One, it should not just be sanitized all the time. And two, it's time for a quiz. Pop quiz. Ha ha.
Dang it, you got me.
I did.
It's like the ball like popping out of the ball pit.
It's like a ball pop quiz. Ball pop. I don't know, more ball jokes. So many ball jokes. So you are the one who brought up earlier Chuck E. Cheese. His Plucky's is very similar and often, based on, Chuck E. Cheese. So, but this is a horrible thing that happened there and at Plucky's. And horrible things have also happened at Chuck E. Cheese. And some of them are too horrible. We're not going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the fun, horrible things that happened at Chuck E. Cheese. Well, I'm going to give you a list of things, and you're going to have to tell me which of these are made up and which of these actually happened, mostly based off a list I got on Ranker. All right?
Okay.
So, pop. Number 1. In a Chuck E. Cheese in Connecticut, a 12-person brawl broke out after two women bumped into each other following a manager's request to tone it down.
Oh, that definitely happened.
Oh, it totally did. Yeah, like a bunch of kids got hurt. There was like a 4-year-old who got hit, but also like, hey, manager, don't tell two women to tone it down. Like, as soon as you say that, like, like a rat's head's getting pulled off and like thrown at somebody. You can't. He's like telling, don't get emotional. Okay, second. In Parma, Ohio, a group of people attacked 5 employees at a Chuck E. Cheese location due to anger over a malfunctioning photo machine.
I'm gonna say that happened also.
It did. One person reported being slammed into a table and receiving an uppercut from a customer. And unfortunately, the people who attacked the employees had fled by the time the police arrived. So they got away with it.
Huh. That's fun.
Number three, a woman named Wanda Jackson from Walterboro, South Carolina, ended up in jail after a visit to Chuck E. Cheese, where she tried to steal another woman's phone, leading to a fight over the phone and then the victim spitting in her face. And then things just took off.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that totally happened. All right, this one. So also that was a new.
I want to bet that half of these happened after they started serving beer at Chuck E. Cheese, though.
Perhaps, because Karens were just bringing their own shit in before that. You think parents weren't always drunk there? All right, so number four, also in New Jersey, 2016, after a grown woman pushed a 2-year-old who was playing skee ball, the 2-year-old's mother decided to get in a fist fight with the other woman.
Yes, that
Yeah,
happened. And she should. Don't fucking shove a 2-year-old.
yeah, no, your ass would have been eating a skee ball.
You get an ass whip.
Like
Yeah.
the skee ball would have actually gone up in your butt. So
Yeah.
even if it wasn't my kid, like just my friend's kid, I probably would have killed you. Yeah, not killed you, just hurt you with a skee ball.
Yeah.
Also, that sounds like a fun weapon. So
skee ball in a sock.
In 2015, a retired sheriff's officer confronted a stumbling man to stop him from bringing an 8-inch knife inside Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, that also very much happened. He was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose, and disorderly conduct, and was transported to the Passaic County Jail on $25,000 bail. Yes, that was also in New Jersey.
Well, see, we're seeing a trend here, though. A lot of these, not all, but a lot, we're looking at Northeast or East Coast.
Or is this Jersey? Okay, this one's not Jersey.
Chuck E. Cheese in Jersey.
This one's not in New Jersey. It's in Costa Mesa. Where's that? Is that California?
I think so.
I feel like it's California.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I do feel like it. 2 men were arrested for smoking heroin in a Chuck E. Cheese bathroom.
Yes, and it sounds like California.
Yep, that totally did happen. Yeah, they told the cops that they were there to meet their drug dealers. Police did not know whether the suspects had tried to sell drugs to other people at the pizza restaurant or on the children's playground. In 2012, parents learned their 3-year-old daughter was missing when they saw a news broadcast reporting she'd been found in a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Yep. Apparently, Harmony arrived to the restaurant with a large group of 4 adults and 10 children. The pizza party broke up around 8, but none of the relatives noticed that Harmony had gone back inside after she found a token. Apparently, the girl's mother and father had split custody, and everyone just assumed that somebody else had Harmony. And then they were watching the 11 o'clock news and then went, oh shit, that's my child.
Wow.
Harmony, also, you need a therapist. I hope you're paying for a lot. All right, how about this one? In Seattle, Como News reported that Charles Elias, a man from Olympia, used 3 children, ages 7, 8, and 10, to help him steal purses.
Yes, that happened.
Yep, that happened. Okay, in 2011, the U.S. Department of Labor fined 9 San Francisco area Chuck E. Cheese's for allowing for minors to be working.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also happened.
These all happened.
16 young workers operated on-site trash compactors, and that was in violation of the law. They also allowed minors to run a dough mixing machine illegally. You evil, evil bastards.
That's a little extreme. Like, why can't they run the dough mixing machine in the trash compactor?
Yep. In the Chicago suburb of Naperville in 2012, police were giving a tip about teenagers practicing satanic rituals at Chuck E. Cheese. When they busted it, they found a teenage makeout party lit by candlelight. There was no mention if anyone was in costume.
Obviously, that happened.
That did not happen. Actually, I made that one up.
Oh, dang.
All right. At a Chuck E. Cheese in Belleville, Illinois, a child found a baggie containing a white substance on the carousel at the pizzeria. The mother of the child said management refused to call the police when they were presented with the powder, and the manager asked her just to throw the baggie away.
I feel like that happened.
That happened. She apparently was not happy with that answer. But also, I probably just be like, bitch, just throw the bag out. Like,
But what are they going to do?
what are
Like,
they
oh,
gonna
we're going to
do?
fingerprint
Like,
this
how are they? How are
baggie, and like,
they? Yeah.
or we have to lock everybody in here and interrogate you one on one. Like, like it's just nonsense, kind of.
Yep. In 2009, one of the employees dressed as the restaurant's mascot, Mr. Cheese, groped a mother who was at the restaurant with a child.
I feel like that happened.
It did. He totally grabbed her boob. Oh, Chucky.
Yeah.
Mr. Cheese.
Mr. Cheese. Mr. Cheese, settle down, sir.
Mr. Cheese, settle down. Speaking of Mr. Cheese being disruptive, in 2011, an employee at a New York franchise of the children's restaurant Just a Chuck E. Cheese flicked off the camera.
I mean, do you blame him?
No, that happened. His mother said, "I'm mad. I still am. That's his fourth birthday picture in his ruin. That's no way to treat a child." The employee was fired. I'm sorry, lady. You got a fucking awesome.
That's the best picture.
That child is living on the internet forever.
Whenever he gets older, oh my god!
I put that shit on a shirt. Yeah. In suburban Pittsburgh, a Chuck E. Cheese turned in a Thunderdome when a fight involving as many 50 people broke out during a 1-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. It started outside when a father of a young
Where was
boy,
that one again?
Pittsburgh.
I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, so like it started outside and then it just kind of moved inside. So, and your last one. In 2020, 5 children were reported missing from Chuck E. Cheese, and shift workers were reportedly seeing animatronics movies at night. Move at night.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go with. Yeah, why not?
No, that was a fucking hoax, but it was posted on Twitter and everybody thought it was real. And like they were like, "Oh, USA Today is like quoting this." So check your goddamn news sources. Like people weren't stolen from Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
Like at least not 5.
I was like, that wasn't. I didn't think that one won as much. I was.
It wasn't yelling at you. It was yelling at the people who believe this.
I know, but the animatronics moving at night, I could see people reporting that.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that happens. I mean, that's just not reported. Like I know, like they come alive at night.
Those things
are funny, they're fucking freaky as shit. Like
I didn't think they were scary as a kid. Now they're creepy.
Oh,
Is
no.
that weird?
Yeah, no, they get like. But also, like the older
I think your imagination allows you to like see. And then, well, the technology then it was not. The technology wasn't what it is today,
well, I think
so it seemed more impressive.
They just got
and your imagination
sadder.
covers.
They just got sadder because they got rattier because they didn't replace them. So
well, now that's all, I think it's all like cartoons now, like on like.
Now
digital.
I kind of want to go find all those like they have to be for sale. Like oh my god, that would be the best Halloween yard ever. I have something new coming out for next year now. So also just on a side note, don't ever let your kids, if you have them or anyone you know, play. Just don't go in ball pits.
I want to go in the ball pit so bad. I love the ball pit so bad, but it's so gross.
It's so gross. So according to a Reddit, there was like, hey, like one guy was like, oh no, they were rarely cleaned. We did clean them. They would just put them in like net bags and then drive through a car wash. This one is great though. Researchers from North Georgia State University identified 31 bacterial species and 1 yeast species in the investigation of 6 ball pits in pediatric physical therapy clinics.
Oh no.
In Georgia. So like these like Georgia people, like they're like, we're gonna have these physical therapy for kids, like all these immunocompromised children, and then we're gonna give them a ball pit so they can all like shit and like sneeze in it. And yeah. So they found they sampled 9 to 15 balls from different depths of each of the ball pits. The things they found can cause pink eye, UTIs, bloodstream infections, and heart inflammations, among other conditions.
It's very upsetting.
It is very upsetting.
That's not the heartwarming video I saw the other day of a dog in a ball pit like that in their somebody's house. They had like a kiddie pool and they filled it with balls for their dog and it was joyous. That's what I want to do in the ball pit.
Also covered in your dog shit. So
no, I don't want to share it with my dog. I just want my own private ball pit.
Dirty.
Sounds really dirty. I just want my own private ball pit. Anyways. Yeah.
So we're gonna cut from back to the balls getting sucked through the tube, and like really, like I don't buy that that gets any of the balls, much less all the balls sanitized.
It's a lot. Like, imagine how long that would take.
But also, like, how would you know? Like, I would just like, did I just get the same ball that I just cleaned?
Was it
Like,
shooting it back in? Well, I didn't know where they were going.
it looked like they just went back in. I mean, where else would they
Oh,
go? I don't know. Like, this just
I
seems
don't know. Is there ball containment?
all those
I don't
like,
know.
do you separate the blue balls?
I don't know. Blue balls from the red balls.
So he ends up getting bit, and also this is terrifying. This is very, very scary.
Yeah, he gets bit, he's bleeding, and then he gets pulled under and he's like struggling and he's finally frantic and he looks around like he's gonna make it. And then we see the balls moving like something's under them and he gets pulled under and there's big blood splatter and he's dead.
Yeah, you don't know what's hiding under the ball pit. So, like, no, I don't want to go in a
No.
ball pit. Like, maybe if they were clear balls, I would only take clear balls. I will be in a ball of, but no blue balls. Anyway,
So it's now nighttime. Sam and Dean are at Plucky's because it's a crime scene. So, and Jean's
well,
all
I think
upset
they
because
were
she's.
going there anyway. So Sam was supposed to go talk to Sal. Remember, they were supposed to meet up
Oh,
after
that's
work.
true.
So I think they were going there anyhows, and they're just like, oh shit, like.
Yeah. So they know Saul's dead. Jean's upset, and they think that the something about the ball washer is what killed him.
The what?
Somehow. The ball washer.
The what?
Ball. The ball washer.
Yeah, I like that Dean made Sam say it like 3 times. I really did appreciate that. I also think like these paramedics, like they're very good sports for these random dudes who just came up and like showed like flashed a badge and were like,
Mhm.
"Can you stop doing your job and just stand here off in the distance while I look at this?"
Yeah. And they finally let him roll away. And Sam's like, by the way, Dean's like, by the way, Sam, do you know what that was? That's a fucking shark bike. And it had to be at least a 20-footer because apparently Dean is a big fan of Shark Week. And Sam is not.
Yeah, I also don't think you learned that on Shark Week. So
That was really weird. It's a weird fact. How do you know that it's on the TV? Like, that's not, anyways, whatever.
yeah, you can't just look
So,
at a shark's mouth and then just be like, "I'm sorry, Dean." Like that's not how you tell what a shark's radius is.
well, what's real weird is when they go inside Plucky's, which is now a crime scene and all the lights are off.
So my guess is like so because I also noted this. It was like it's now totally dark. There's no activity at all. I'm like, did they come back?
No.
But it looked like they were going in there, right? So like
They
everybody
were.
has left Plucky's.
They all left.
They just like closed
so
it down and they
weird.
turned off all the lights. There's like we will deal with this tomorrow.
This is done. Or we're just like, oh, we're just worrying about the other side of the building. We're just going to ignore the
We just
half
care.
of the building.
We just care about
only
the
care about
parking
this one
lot.
little
We
area.
just care about this parking lot. That's it.
So they realize that another drawing is missing from the wall, and it's Omar Cooper's drawing, who is not connected to Saul in any way. They haven't done zero research about this, but they already know that Omar Cooper has zero connection to Saul in any
They
way.
know Omar. They know all this. Omar's not
like,
related
oh,
to him. Saul is a racist and would not like an
right.
Omar.
Damn. So Saul is like and they're upset though because they know Saul had something to tell Sam. And Dean's like, okay, so this is not all about, quote, ganking a dickweed parent. But now we start getting.
I wanted to make it fun, and I had to check something to make sure. So if he's a whistleblower, it's a Plucky Pennywhistle blower.
That's funny. I like it. There we go. So we've got they're basically figuring out what the monster is. They don't know what it is still, but they're like, it's something that can fire off childhood fears at will. And then Dean continues down his list of making up names for all these monsters. So now we've got the Dractopus.
Dractopus also sounds adorable.
It does. The Seabiscuit the Impaler and Land Shark.
Land Shark.
So they're going to break out their EMFs and split up. But that's it.
So waitress moms, this is where I start going like my sympathy levels for her start plummeting. I know she's having a day. girl, you're having a
Yeah.
day, but
But you
this,
can't have a day every
you
day.
can't have a day every day and keep taking it out on your kid like this. So waitress mom is like pulled up and she is like, bitch, you've got to take the bus. And
I'm
she,
parking at work. Here's a quarter. Go take the
get
bus
the
the rest of the way,
get the
kid.
fuck out of my car. Here's some change. Like, it just,
It's
okay.
very awkward.
It's,
And he has to leave his drawing of a robot with laser eyes smashing a city in the front seat.
all right. And then we cut to now. Okay.
Sam's just still getting beat up by clowns.
Yep, he's getting thrown
But he's
into
fighting back.
he's getting thrown into a truck, and the fight does start to take a turn. But then there's juggling, and we all know once the juggling starts, like you might as well just give up.
Give up.
You can't fight a juggler. So then, for no reason, we cut to 4 hours earlier.
4 hours and 34 minutes.
Yeah, I refused to write
So
down the minutes because I was like, "This is," because I knew they didn't mean anything. And I was like, "This is stupid. I'm not writing it."
well, they made the right choice because they decided it's time to go do more research, and they decided to do that in their amazing tiki motel room,
I did.
like you should.
Yeah, I would be like, "So we got to do more things at the room, right?" Like, and I would just keep making excuses to go back there.
So they're researching, but they're just really stuck. They just don't know what the monster is.
And
Is the
you
dilemma.
gotta say, maybe it's a dolpa. It's not a dolpa.
So Sam's like, we need to go back over there. Dean's like, it's pointless. What are you talking about? And Sam's like, no, we're gonna go back over there. I'm gonna go fucking hardcore bad cop on all these motherfuckers, and then you're just gonna watch them and see if they act weird, and then follow them.
Okay, whatever. That's not at least a plan, right?
It's a plan.
But Dean's like, so I'm just gonna be a pervert.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not. It's not a good look. Don't go middle-aged men, or not even middle-aged. Yeah, no, men in general, just don't go hang out at children's pizza places by yourself.
Not a great idea. So Sam goes in rolling hard. He's going to go interrupt Jean, and he's going to talk to her, and he's like asking her how business is, and she's like, yeah, not even grim death can stop the fun, but the ball pit's closed till corporate gets here. And he's like, look, I don't believe it was the ball washer. You and I need to talk right now.
Ball washer. The what?
The ball washer. So while Sam's taking Jean off to interrogate, Dean sees his dream come true.
Oh wait, she didn't say ball washer. Oh wait, no, she says that after this. Okay, so before this, yeah, okay. So Dean's dream's about to come true
because he sees a kid retrieve from the prize center a giant slinky. And man, I love a giant slinky. I have no use for one. I don't even want to put it on my shelf. But damn, it sounds fun.
Yeah, just when you see that looking by, you're like, man, I kind of want to flip that. Can I put that on some stairs? I've got some stairs.
Right? I know.
Oh my god, how would the cat deal with the slinky on the stairs? Oh shit!
So much fun.
Shut up and take my money. Okay, so he wants to get a slinky. He wants to get a slinky on, but no.
Howard won't let him buy it with cold hard cash. He only takes coupons or the tickets or whatever.
Tickets won through hard work and determination. Fuck
but
you,
double
Howard.
ticket Tuesday on the skee ball.
Howard. All right, so we cut to this is where Sam is trying very hard to be bad cop, and he's not good at this. But then Jean says ball blaster.
She does say ball blaster, not ball washer. You're right.
That's why I was like, wait. It was like, oh no, wait, nope. I had to wait until she says it. Ball blaster.
Ball blaster.
So we have ball washer and ball blaster. But ball blaster. All right, so I feel like that's also like somewhere some dude has called me a ball blaster at some point, probably this week. Fucking ball blaster, bitch.
So she's like, look, she's very much like, look, I only heard the ball blaster. I've only been in this job for a couple of weeks. There's a lot of competition for it because you get benefits. And I wrote an essay because I have 2 semesters of college. So
what kind of job is
illegal.
this? I'm sorry. Also, like, if I was ever up for promotion and they told me you had to write an essay, I'd be like, that's cool.
No, I don't want it that bad.
Like, I am not in high school.
The owners seem kind of weird anyway.
I don't know what the fuck. Is Plucky's a cult? Like, I'm thinking, like, the owner is obsessed with, like, kids' development. Like, I'm starting to hear some, like, signs on this. And maybe they got all this wrong.
Well,
We
Dean's
have
playing
solved
skee
it.
ball. Well, Dean's playing skee ball because he's going to get that motherfucking
Is
slinky.
that your
And
favorite?
he,
Is that your favorite game there? I
I
love
love
skee
skee
ball.
ball. I don't know why. I'm not great at it, but I love it.
I fucking hate cornhole. Love me some skee ball.
I don't know.
I only want to be a ball blaster. So he's not doing well at skee ball.
Until he turns around and isn't watching what he's doing. But either way, he follows Jean when he sees her exit quite quickly, looks out on the loading dock, and she is lighting a joint.
Yep, she's got her
So,
fatty going.
and so he texts Sam, "High times is not our girl." But now Sam is going to interrogate Howard. And Howard is very enthusiastic to take Sam's business card and thank him for his service and all the fun
I'm
things.
so impressed you're a special agent. That must mean you're very special.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Back out
this
in
guy
the skee
cruelly
ball.
molests kids. I'm sorry. Like, there's no way. He's like, did you check the sex registry for Howard? Howard is on for something. He's done something.
He just could just be unwell.
He shouldn't be at a Plucky's. I feel like
You
there's
have to have somebody that
I
wants
feel like
to be.
per
You have to have somebody that's like
per Megan's law,
chipper
Howard
like
can't work at Plucky's.
that. Well, out at the skee ball machine, Tyler is now out there calling out this other kid for cheating at skee ball because he crawled up the ramp, which is cheating.
It is cheating. And so part of me is like, Tyler, you're a fucking snitch, right? But also like,
well, he didn't go tattle on him. He just called him out directly.
still,
That's not
I'm
really
like,
snitching.
well, yeah, but it's like, whatever. Like, let the dude like get his tickets, right? But also like, I don't know. Like, Tyler's not your business. Go mind your own shit. Fucking damn Tyler. Like, sorry. Like, but then, like, also this kid looks like a jerk. So
Dean comes up and tells the kid to knock it off, the cheater to knock it off, and he does. And both Tyler and Dean simultaneously call him a jackass.
and then Dean steals his tickets.
Well, yeah. And Libby tries to force Tyler to eat some trash pizza. It's not like from the trash, it's just shitty pizza. And Dean's like, "Oh no, it can't be that bad. Cut your mom some slack."
Tyler says the pizza tastes like butt.
Well, before he says that, I like that he's like, Dean's trying to like commiserate with kid, like, "Oh yeah, my dad used to haul me around places. She's just working hard and exhausted." He says, "Take pity on the old." And I was like, damn straight.
You should take pity on the old. We're very, very tired.
And then that's when Tyler said, "This stuff tastes like butt." And Dean's like, "What?" And so he takes a bite and he's like, "It tastes like butt."
It does.
It's pretty funny.
But also the kid is scared of robots and because they have laser eyes.
Obviously. So Dean sees Howard exit his interview with Sam. And he just thinks that he looks pretty normal as he's interacting with the kid. So he just texts Sam, "No, it must not be him." But next up is the lion. And our good friend Lion is manned by a guy named Cliff. And Sam goes hard right off the bat and says, "Why'd you do it? I think you know what?" And the lion's trying to like defend himself, but then Sam says, "I'm the federal government. I can do whatever." And I was like, "Oh no, stop it, sir. Stop talking."
Get a lawyer. Gross. Get a lawyer, sir. No, you're
right. But
then
the lion throws his head at Sam and runs.
It's just hilarious. Like
it's so funny.
It's just immediate, just like, okay, here's my boom.
Yeah. And Dean is able to tackle the lion into a pile of tires. And the lion starts saying, "If this is about the meth lab, my brother and I have the same fingerprints."
Pluckies, what are you doing? I mean, but also I know like how desperate, like how like you just need to get people to work at Pluckies, man. I get it. You're not running background checks on people, and then I'm just like, oh god, you're not running background checks on people.
And so Dean just asks, he's like, "You're not using kids' nightmares to smoke people?" He's like, "I don't care that you break bad or whatever, but something weird is happening here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, the sub," and Cliff's like very forthcoming now that he's not getting busted for his meth lab. He's like, "Oh yeah, the sub basement's totally fucking creepy. When I used to do shrooms with Saul in the ball pit after hours, we would hear shit down there."
Which I'm not gonna lie, doing shrooms in a ball pit sounds pretty fun. Sorry,
You said you wouldn't get in one.
I mean, again, it has to be like I had to like buy the balls. Like I have to have purchased the balls.
I feel like was this episode like a subtle homage to Bobby just talking about balls a lot?
Maybe. Oh wait, I didn't even catch that. No, you. So let's see. The Eustace room, and then spooky sounds would be coming up from the boiler room.
Yeah. So we cut back to the main area, and Tyler's upset because his drawing's missing, and Libby just has no patience. You'll draw another one, and Tyler and Dean have a moment, and Tyler decides to be like a little nice to his mom, and go with her quietly. And the kid and mom's impressed that he does this, but Dean realizes that means that the robot picture's missing, which is not ideal. And because a bitchy mom plus a sad kid plus a placemat of something nuts equals a wacky corpse.
Yeah, yeah. No,
That's
it's
good
not
math.
great.
That's good math. I like that math problem. And
Is that the
so,
new math?
new math. Sam goes out to follow Libby because they think she's going to be next, while Dean goes to investigate the boiler room.
Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm.
And then Don't Go in the Basement starts playing in my head. And then down in there's a burning fire pit sitting in a sigil. Oh.
Yeah, not subtle at all. At all. Also sounds like a fire hazard.
It does, but it also kind of looks like the ones like they're just heated by gas that you just like keep on your porch. That just kind of because it has to
That's
be
true. Those aren't
it
too
looked
bad.
like a constant burn on it. So I'm
Yeah, you're
assuming
right.
he's got some sort of gas thing that's going in there. So it just keeps burning all the time. So I mean, but clearly nobody ever goes in this basement.
I mean, obviously. So it's like weird old storage. It's like kind of cool. Like that's where you find your old fucking creepy Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. It's in this basement. But yeah, so old decor and yeah. And there's a unicorn carousel horse. Like I want to go play in this basement. No, I don't want to play there. I want to go scavenge in this basement and then get the fuck out quickly. That's
Yeah, I would like want the lights to be turned on a lot.
that too.
Just because there's no reason for this to be that dark with so many clown heads lying around. That doesn't seem
Correct.
like a fun thing that I want to run.
That seems unnecessary. Unnecessary lack of light. But there's a bunch of drawings on the wall of like some kid in water, and then there's some weird figurines or a book of like sigils and spells, and we see Tyler's robot drawing on the table. And of course, Dean has his gun because duh, and he hears someone say, "Drop it!" And who's there? Bitch ass Howard's there with a fucking
Howard.
pistol.
And Howard
So he's not a creeper; he's a psychopath.
He also has a gun.
Yeah, which is weird. And then Dean calls out. He's like, "This is some pretty heavy hoodoo. I've never seen anything that could just pop out a unicorn." He's like, he starts. We get a little, not really a monologue, but Howard kind of explains like, "There's power and fear. A child draws it. A little bit of that mojo ends up on the page. It just needs something that the parent owns too. So he's got to have something that the parent owns and the kid's mojo from drawing."
Well, because basically then you're using the parent as the target, right? So,
Yeah.
But the spell makes sense. Like if you think about it from a fear standpoint, of that being a strong emotion, being like, yeah, these kids are generating this like strong emotion, and then I'm using that to attack things. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So he's thinking, doing what he needs to. And, Dean's kind of like holding his hands up and letting Howard do his thing. And then he grabs the drawing of the robot, he tears it in half, says, "No drawing, no Iron Giant." And Howard's like, "That B word is still on the list," because he's a bitch. He's a bitch, not her.
She's kind of a bitch, but he can't call her a bitch because he's a bitch. And so he's like, B word.
Yeah.
But then he also says she's going to be a bully. So maybe he meant bully.
I guess. Well, and Dean's kind of taunting him about, "What, are you going to shoot me?" And he's like, "I've got a way to take care of bullies like that FBI guy." Because remember, Sam was pretending to be tough a guy. Oh no, that means that now Sam's the target because he pretended to be the bad cop.
Oops.
Oops, indeed. So he's like, "Yeah, I mean, I saw y'all taking off to chase Cliff. I'd already got his business card, so in a drawing from the collection. That's it. Boom." Well, all the while, Sam's still staking out Libby's. he gets out of the car to watch the house. Why? I don't fucking know. But he comes face to face with a clown. Huh. That's not good. And then we do get kind of a funny flash to present, which is a subtitle that says "Right friggin' now."
And that did become a hashtag that was trending during this time on Twitter.
Okay, right friggin' now.
Right friggin' now. And then we
Well,
get kind of a montage to review Sam's actions.
yeah, it just basically goes back to the intro. Same thing. And now Dean's asking Howard about these figurines, though, because on the counter there's also like a figurine of like the lion, the clown, like whatever the characters, the Plucky's characters, basically. And he's just like, "Oh, Plucky helps kids. That's all I ever wanted to do." And then he admits that he was passed over for the management spot, and he thought he deserved it, so he's just gonna do shit his way. And he's like, "Yeah, it's all about bad parents." So, and then Saul had a big mouth. A good parent always puts kids first. And Dean points out, he's like, "Wait, so like, parents dying from like really scary shit isn't really putting the kids first?"
No, you entitled little piece of shit. Like, so you thought you deserved to like get this management role, which you did not. Nobody wanted to read your fucking essay, Howard. So, like, and then you're just gonna take it out these other people, you little cunt.
Yeah. But Dean's like, what are all these pictures on the wall? Tell me about your brother. Because he's pieced together, this must be Howard's brother on the wall. Ooh. And Sam is still getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, I hope it's Howard's brother. Otherwise, he's got weird pictures like of him, like of children. So,
well, basically, he pieces together between the drawings and the photos that Howard's brother drowned, is what Dean has deduced. And Howard's like, "My folks didn't listen. They let him die." So basically, Howard thinks his parents are bad because his brother died in an accident. And so Howard went cuckoo bird. That's what I gathered. Is that what you gathered?
That his brother was drowning, and then he went to go tell his parents, and then his parents ignored him, probably because he talked all the time, and then nobody wanted to listen to Howard. And so then his brother died because they didn't want to listen to him. That's what I got.
Yeah, pretty much. So Sam's still getting his ass kicked, but kind of fighting back.
Yeah, he's getting some
Dean's
progress
like,
in.
You get a little bit in there, yeah. And Dean's like, yeah, here's a drawing of the kid drowning, and he throws it on the fire along with one of the figurines. What? And right as he does, Howard starts shooting towards Dean, but Dean dives and gets his gun. But wait, what happened? Who did Howard shoot? Not Dean. He shot his ghost little brother, who is like drowned boy, which is really creepy and sad standing there.
It is sad, yeah.
Has 3 gunshot wounds in him. And Howard is trying to tell his brother that it wasn't his fault. But then his brother just touches his hand. Howard falls to his knees and starts spitting up water, drowning in the basement.
Yep, he drowns him without any water.
Huh.
Yep.
Yeah. So while this is all happening, the clowns are running at Sam. And suddenly, right when they're about to hit him, they explode into a glitter cloud. And they're gone. Ta-da!
More glitter bombs. And I bet that Jared Padalecki is still getting glitter out of his hair. Like, he's still finding it. He's still finding it.
It's gone. Yeah. Forever. Back at Plucky's, Sam arrives covered in glitter. And Sam's like just fucking owning it. He's like, let's roll. Fuck it. Let's go. And just waiting for Dean to say something. And Dean's just laughing. He said that you look like you were attacked by PCP crazed strippers. It's funny.
Yep.
But Dean's like, whatever. So Dean apologizes for psychologically scarring Sam specifically for the Pluckies stuff. And he's like,
well, no, it was a shitty thing to do. Like, leaving kids in entertainment arcades by themselves. That's the same thing like earlier with the shitty parent, whatever her name is. Like, she was putting that child on a bus by himself. Well, you're lucky that child didn't just get kidnapped right and left. He's probably the child that shows up on like Chuck E. Cheese and they don't realize it until like they get until it's like 11 p.m. news. Like, oh shit, there's Tyler.
You never know. Some kids are very independent that way.
That doesn't mean people will kidnap independent children. He was a child.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, but Anyways, Sam makes a Juggalo reference, and that made me very happy.
He
Whoop whoop.
does.
I had a whoop whoop for you.
Thank you.
But we get but he kind of says like, look, it was kind of therapeutic, felt good. Like so, he feels like he's kind of like not as fucked up by clowns now, which is cool. And he has giant slinkies for them. Yay! And then Dean tries to give him a Plucky doll.
A clown phobia sobriety chip, which somehow gets lost and left behind.
Yeah, because I don't think it's all gone. And if you have your phobia, doesn't mean you still like them.
Yeah, it's a phase, right? You can't you can have some therapy, but it's gonna take a while. So, do we have some? do we have some cast members?
Casting couch. It's the casting couch. Were they on that show that time with that guy? La 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 la.
We do. We've got some cast members. All right, so casting couch. First up, we'll hit Howard. It was played by Michael Blackman Beck. He honestly has a very short resume online. Just like literally one episode of CSI, and he was a guy named Preston, a character named Preston in the Baby Moon. Very, very small.
Maybe he
resume.
just did it as a lark.
Maybe. Libby was played by Carolyn Cave. She's in a few episodes of The L Word. She was Debbie in Saw 4. The Boss's Wife in A Dog's Purpose. Beverly Scott in the Power Rangers movie in 2017. She did an episode of Charmed. Then was a regular character on the TV show Siren named Beth, and a recurring character on Van Helsing named Jolene. Jean, our manager, was played by Jennifer Spence. She's been in another episode of Supernatural as well. And then she was a recurring character named Joanna on the 4400. Betty Robertson in the TV show Continuum. A few episodes of Van Helsing. Grace Day in the TV series Travelers. And the current series Lucky Hank. She's a character named Ashley.
I don't know that one.
That's a new one. Who is it? Is it Cranston? I think so. Bryan Cranston. It looks good. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Speaking of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, right. Kelly Harper was played by who's the little girl who the octopus,
octovamp, octo, whatever. Jacopus.
Yeah. So Allie Scoveby. She's been in episodes of Smallville, Fringe, and Once Upon a Time. And then she was a recurring character as young Tully in the TV series Firefly Lane. And then there's Tyler, the young man. Our boy was the boy who was getting left behind a lot by his mom. It was played by Jacob Davies. He was in episodes of Smallville and Fringe. He was a character named Teddy in the movie If I Stay, and a recurring character of Pinocchio in Once Upon a Time. Mr. Pogue, who was the guy killed by the unicorn, he's a stuntman. And a stunt driver and a stunt coordinator. He worked on things, everything from Blade Trinity, Inception, iRobot, Sonic the Hedgehog, Deadpool 2, and more. So, a pretty extensive stunt career.
That is super cool.
Yep. There we go. So, that was a fun episode. The getting killed by his dead ghost brother at the end was, by drowning, was real dark.
It was kind of dark, but it's still, I mean...
No, I thought it was a fun episode overall, though. Especially, I enjoyed watching it this time of year, especially since we're so close to Halloween season. Not that it's Halloweeny, it just seemed like it because,
It just does. I think it's just because of the clowns. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But
creepy clowns feel very Halloween for some reason.
They become a Halloween thing. I mean, obviously, we've got it. And then we've got, Pennywhistle, the clown, so which is, I'm sure, not a coincidence. So anything else? I mean, beyond there is a unicorn shooting magic out of its butt.
No, that's amazing.
All right. So, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, yeah, we'll end it there. All right, cheers, Dirk.
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Get It production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios podcast network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.